WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. The nation's toughest abortion bill has passed both houses of the Mississippi legislature, but Attorney General Jim Hood says it may be hard to defend in court. Now, the bill bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. However, if Governor Phil Bryant signs it, which he says he will, the new law would be the most restrictive nationwide. Hood says he expects a challenge to the legislation. Now, only two exceptions apply: a threat to the life of the pregnant woman or a fetus that could not survive outside the womb at a full term due to a health problem. Current state law bans abortions after 20 weeks of pregnancy. Part of Mississippi's college savings program is struggling to stay funded. Impact lets parents lock in current tuition rates and save for the future. However, despite a revamp of the program, there is a major shortfall for the older contracts. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Impact has a history of financial issues. That's why it was frozen for 2 years. Here's the deal. Families who enrolled prior to 2012 are in the Impact Legacy Program. Anyone who enrolled after it reopened in 2014 is part of the Impact Horizon. But it's those older contracts that are in financial trouble now.
Nothing else changes in any of the assumptions, and if the legislature doesn't put any new money into it by 2026, we're out of money.
Now, that's not to say that the families who bought into the program prior to 2012 would be left hanging. They can't be.
Legally, the state has to pay those contracts out whether the money is in the legacy account or not. So they're going to have to come up with it, whether it's through tax dollars or some sort of just general fund appropriation.
That's why Treasurer Lynn Fitch is sounding the alarm to lawmakers that the legacy program needs a special appropriation before it reaches that point.
What we're looking at here is trying to keep the program running without having to balance it on the taxpayers' backs, because it's a full faith and credit program. Taxpayers are on the hook for every bit that has been contracted with the Legacy, the Horizon owners, all of them.
But here's the thing. This is the 5th year the College Savings Board has asked for money to close the gap, and the shortfall has grown to $13.5 million.
The program has been failing for quite a while, and the can has been kicked down the road.
But the Impact Horizon program continues to grow and is doing well financially. It's just a question of how the state will make good on the older contracts held by families saving for college tuition.
The city of Starkville no longer faces a legal challenge from the group Starkville Pride. Roberta Kaplan, who's an attorney for the group and its organizers, informed federal judge Sharon Aycock that the city does not need to respond to the motion for preliminary relief. Kaplan says there's no need for an initial hearing as long as the parade moves forward as planned on March 24th. Kaplan expects Starkville Pride to drop the motion. However, the group may still seek fees and costs. Prosecutors wrap up their case today in a Clay County murder trial. A jury was selected earlier this week in Raheem Johnson's trial. Johnson and 2 other men are charged in the shooting death of James White. The 38-year-old man was shot multiple times on May 15th of 2015 on Dixie Road near Montpelier. Defense attorneys started giving their side of the case this afternoon. The state Supreme Court says a Clay County man will continue to serve his life without parole sentence. Joey Chandler was 17 when he was arrested for the 2005 murder of his cousin. Chandler was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. A new sentencing hearing in 2015 resulted in the same sentence. And today, the Mississippi Supreme Court rejected Chandler's claim that since he was a juvenile when the murder took place, he was not eligible for life without parole. Details are slowly emerging about a weekend shooting involving a Webster County deputy. Sheriff Tim Mitchell says an incident occurred this past Saturday in Webster County and ended in Grenada County, but referred other questions to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. Attorney Carlos Moore says he's been retained by Robert Sally, who was shot during the incident. Now, multiple sources tell WCBI that the incident started after Sally avoided a roadblock in Webster County and later almost hit a deputy with a vehicle. That's when shots were fired in Grenada County, hitting Sally. Now, he was reportedly wanted in Webster County. MBI spokesman Warren Strain confirms the agency is handling this case. However, he would not release any other further details. And it's now time to turn our attention over to weather. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is standing by with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Quentin, tons of sunshine out there today. Here's our time lapse from downtown Columbus. Our Alpha Insurance camera looking back to the west, some cirrus clouds coming on in. A great sunset. Look at that. Hopefully you saw it earlier this evening. Temperatures are getting cold. We're down well into the 30s across our region in most spots. Where we have a little bit of a breeze, it's still around 40, but I do suspect we all have a pretty good chance of getting down into the low 30s and some upper 20s around here tonight. Those low-lying sheltered spots especially susceptible to a freeze. Tomorrow, more sun, mid-60s for us, a little bit warmer to the south. Your weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Keith. It was a night of celebration in Okolona as hundreds came out to toast to the area's economic success this past year. Business and community leaders gathered for the annual Okolona Area Chamber of Commerce Awards banquet. During tonight's banquet, business and individuals were recognized for their contributions to the area's success.
It's just a good time for all business people when you're doing your thing and your job during the day. We don't really get to mingle and visit with each other, so at least the once a year is a great time that we can sit down and have a great meal prepared for us, and we get to visit with each other and get to know each other and kind of keep abreast of what's going on in our area and community-wide.
Now, this marks the 84th year for the Okolona Area Chamber of Commerce to host this banquet. Today is International Women's Day. It's a day set aside to recognize the social, economic, cultural, and political achievement of women. An event in Tupelo honored local women who are making a big impact in Northeast Mississippi. Our Allie Martin has that story.
Hattie Tucker has been known for her work with MDOT, the American Red Cross of North Mississippi, and a host of nonprofit and volunteer groups such as the Lee County 4-H Advisory Council and the Mississippi Volunteer Leaders Association.
My motto is, to whom much is given, much is required, and I've been so blessed throughout my years, and I'm just honored to be able to give back to the community.
Tucker was one of 5 female leaders honored at the Women of Distinction Luncheon. The awards are a project of New Expectations for Women in Mississippi, or New Miss, which was formed to improve the lives of women in the area. Every 2 years, New Miss honors 5 women and 1 organization. This year, the organization of distinction is the Good Samaritan Free Clinic. All of the honorees do much of their work behind the scenes and with little or no fanfare.
Women have that tendency to not brag on themselves. That's the way most people say it. None of the ladies that we've ever honored are out there for that recognition, but because other people see the work that they're doing and the results of that work, they feel that they are worthy to be recognized.
Also honored with the Women of Distinction Award were Kay Matthews, known for her work at the Regional Rehabilitation Center for nearly 30 years. Juanita Floyd, who has worked with the Create Foundation for 33 years. Nettie Davis, who was the first African-American woman elected to serve on the Tupelo City Council. And Sean Brevard, whose family has been active in education, business, and volunteer work for years.
When you look at the range of work that each of the 5 honorees do, you get a sense of the diversity and the depth of opportunities that we have in this community. So you're right, it's all of us together. It takes all of us together, it takes a village.
Every woman of distinction also pointed out that New Miss is not just for women. Men are also invited to join and take part and help make the community a better place. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Some local volunteer groups are in the spotlight after receiving the 2018 Governor's Initiative for Volunteer Excellence Awards. Annabelle Bunch out of Saltillo received the Outstanding Advocacy by Youth Award. Annabelle and the Annabelle Bunch work to raise awareness about juvenile diabetes. The Create Foundation, Toyota Wellspring Fund in Tupelo is also taking home an award. A ceremony is set in April to recognize the winners in Jackson.
Some locally strong to possibly severe storms are possible Saturday afternoon and evening in the region. The bullseye just to our west right now, although can't rule it out around here. Your full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Bright blue sky today, a few friendly clouds, a gorgeous day. We are down to the wire. Next in sports. All right, let's talk about the weather graphics here tonight. Down to the wire as far as the sunshine. That's how it was earlier today. We'll talk about the weather here tonight. We're in the 30s locally. Wow, it's already chilly. Down to around 30 degrees tonight, not just locally, across the entire deep south. Look at that, a freeze warning in effect here. So get ready for it. Protect the plants. Another night, upper 20s, low 30s. That's where we are headed. A little bit warmer down to our south tonight. We should see lows only in the 40s tomorrow night. So this will be the last real cold night in the near term, although we'll have a few more next week too. 38 at 8 o'clock, 60 at noon, 66 at 4 o'clock. Southerly breezes tomorrow, bringing in some warmer temperatures. So we'll be a tad bit breezy, but a southerly wind means some low to mid 60s for you here towards Tupelo and Corinth, Iuka. A little bit warmer farther south in Macon and Louisville. Eupora at 65. And for you in West Alabama into the mid 60s, 65 in Sulligent, 65 in Reform, 66 in Vernon. A lot of sunshine out there. This evening, just some wispy high clouds coming on through. A lot of stars shining overhead as we've gone throughout the evening hours. Back to the west, there's some disturbed weather. It doesn't look like much at this point, but we will see moisture come on back. It's very dry right now. Moisture comes back in here Saturday and lingers into Sunday, so our rain chances go on up and our storm chances go on up as well. So here's Futurecast for this evening. Some passing high clouds today or tonight and for tomorrow. No problems here. As we get into Saturday morning, showers and a few thunder showers start to build, and I think as we get into Saturday afternoon and evening, things could be a little bit more concentrated, heavier activity, maybe some stronger storms too, and then some lingering showers possible here as we get into Sunday. Now let's talk about the rainfall situation here. We are expecting an opportunity for maybe 1 to 2+ inches of rain as we go throughout the course of Saturday and Sunday here. So more heavy rain possible Saturday into Sunday, dry tomorrow, not as warm or not as cold during the night, especially here. Don't forget about the time change on Sunday. We spring forward. We'll get more daylight in the evening. And then as we get into next week after the weekend, look at that. We cool down again back into the 50s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and overnight lows getting down to around freezing. So a bit of a roller coaster ride. There's your forecast. The show continues after the break.
Welcome back, everyone. All this week in Health Talk with Baptist, we've been learning about colon cancer and how to screen for it. Well, tonight we find out about what treatment options you should use if you should get a cancer diagnosis.
Hey, I'm Dr. Richard Hurd, part of the gastroenterology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Being diagnosed with colon cancer is a scary thing, but our highly trained and specialized staff can guide you through the next steps. With colon cancer, an early diagnosis is key. If it's caught early, we may be able to remove it completely during your colonoscopy. You may not even need chemotherapy or surgery, so get your colonoscopy. For more advanced cancer, surgery is almost always required. But again, if caught in time, surgery alone may be able to cure it. Once colon cancer begins to spread out from the colon, it becomes more difficult to treat. When this happens, chemotherapy or radiation therapy may be required. It may be used before or after surgery, depending on the size of your cancer. Sometimes cancer that is this far along is not able to be cured. You may still get chemotherapy or radiation, though, to ease your symptoms. If your colon cancer is caught in its earliest stage, your chances of being alive in 5 years is 74%. If caught in its worst stage, you have only a 6% chance. Don't let the fear of colonoscopy give cancer a head start. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
The Bulldogs and Tigers fit right in with an insane day of hoops in St. Louis. The live recap next in sports.
Night coverage of the SEC tournament is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Keeping NCAA tournament dreams alive were at stake Thursday night in St. Louis. Mississippi State and LSU just met last week, and now they meet again with much higher stakes. Winner keeps those tournament dreams alive. Loser likely heading to the NIT. All Bulldogs early on. Lamar Peters, the man on fire. He'd drain his first 4 threes he would pull. The Bulldogs would drain 9 out of 12 from distance in the first half. Man, Mississippi State just toying with LSU in the first 20 minutes. Off the steal, Peters in transition. Look at his beauty to Quindary Weatherspoon for the one-hand jam. Just lacing the ball on a rope to Weatherspoon, one-hand jam. Bulldogs up 16 at halftime. Second half, more of the same. Lamar Peters taking Tremont Waters to school. Folks, I don't know if anyone can guard that. Puts Waters on skates, finishes with the and one bucket. Bulldogs looking good, but it wouldn't be Mississippi State basketball without some cardiac arrest on the side. LSU roars all the way back. Triple makes it a 4-point game, and then Waters heaves one from the parking lot, makes it a 1-point game with 9 ticks left. Ben Howland would have to draw up the perfect inbounds play. Might not have been perfect, but it goes exactly how Howland plans. Look at the ball travels faster when you're passing than when you're dribbling, kids. Nick Weatherspoon finishes with a two-hand dunk, but 1.5 left on the clock. One more shot for LSU. The half-court heave is no good. Mississippi State escapes by the skin of their teeth, surviving and advancing 80-77. So the Bulldogs hang on, and now it's on to the next one. Our Robbie Donahoe was there to see it all go down in St. Louis and joins us live with more from the Cardiac Kids from Starkville. Robbie?
Tom, this game was not for the faint of heart. Mississippi State always likes to make it interesting late, and they did it once again as they are winners over LSU, moving on to the next round, keeping this redemption tour going. For the Bulldogs, though, they're just glad to keep the dream alive of hoping of finding a way to get into the NCAA tournament.
We got obviously a little crazy there down the stretch, and you gave LSU credit. I told them at halftime, my number one message at halftime was they're not going away. And so I'm just glad we were held on for the win and lived to play another day.
I think we were just disappointed on the loss that we had Saturday, and we didn't like our effort that we played with Saturday, so we just wanted to come out and just play with a lot of intensity in the first half. I mean, it slacked down the second half, but we was able to put it out.
We still got life trying to get into the NCAA tournament. So, I like to stir the pot by me being a point guard, just getting these guys going and just trying to be a leader like Coach want me to be. And I just been trying to lead, show those guys that we should have good energy and just keep playing hard because it's not over yet.
And for the Bulldogs to get into the field of 68 in March Madness, they need to keep winning. They beat LSU, now they have to beat Tennessee tomorrow. Those are the last two teams that defeated Mississippi State in the regular season, so the Bulldogs hope they can finish off this mini redemption tour coming up tomorrow. Tip-off between the Vols and Bulldogs will be at 6 p.m. We will have much more from here in St. Louis coming up tomorrow on WCBI Sports. And also, can't wait for that Alabama-Auburn game. That'll be a noon tip time on SEC Network. So plenty of great basketball. The last 4 games we've had in St. Louis decided by a total of 7 points. If you have heart conditions, probably don't watch college basketball here in St. Louis because it's been heart-stopping and crazy and so much fun. We'll have much more from here in St. Louis coming up tomorrow on WCBI Sports. For now, reporting live here in the Scott Trade Center, Robbie Donahoe for WCBI Sports. Tom, let's toss it back to you in Columbus.
Thank you, Robbie. To Jackson, Pine Grove Lady Panthers looking to bring that gold ball back to Ripley, taking on McAdams. Early on for Pine Grove, Haley Vick drives inside, finishes off the glass for 2. Lady Panthers with the early lead. Off the fast break, Vick, look at the bounce pass in transition to Lauren Elliott for the lay-in. And Pine Grove looking good. Still in the first, Lexi Elliott. Great sign, by the way. Lexi Elliott drives, finds sister Lauren at the top of the key. Nothing but nylon for the triple. And third quarter, Pine Grove busts it open. Lady Panthers, Vick to Taylor Fletcher down the court for the transition 2. Pine Grove wins their second straight 1A girls title. They get the W 56-34 over McAdams. Here's some more from your state champs in 1A.
I'm just so happy for these seniors. They have put their heart and soul into this program the last 5 years, not just 4 years, but 5 years. And I can't pick a better way for them to go out.
Just a dream come true. I mean, it's just, God has blessed us. He has given us all an ability to play, and I mean, we just kind of took the chance that we had. And last year, like, we won a state championship, and I mean, God has just truly blessed us.
It's just every dream come true is all I can say. We've been blessed by God for sure.
Just knowing that I could play one more time with the team, and especially one more time with my sister. Just knowing that she's going to lift me up throughout everything, and that we can give God all the glory in everything that we do.
In the 1A boys, Okolona looking to take down the two-time defending champs from Ashland in the 1A boys title. Second quarter, Ashland down, but making a run. Eric Bell to Octavian Agikim inside for two. Cuts it to a three-point game, but Okolona's turn. Ladarius Spears, don't jump on him or he'll put you on a poster. He'll take the lay-in off the glass for two. Third quarter, Ashland right back to Anthony Tipler to Bell, who gets it inside to Agikim again for two. But it'd be all Okolona. Cam Smith to Spears, misses inside. I don't know how that happened, but Landon Bailey with the finish. Okolona boys roll over Ashland 80-59. Here's more from the Chieftains after the game.
It's just a blessing, man. We've been working at this for 4 years, so it's a blessing to finally get it. I said we've been saying redemption all year, man. It's just, I know it's great for them, great for me. I'm just waiting to get back there and congratulate them one more time.
It's a blessing, man. Thanks to the coaching staff and everybody who supported us. The fans all around here, man, they motivate us, man. We got to get in the classroom, man. We do it on here on the court, man. It's just a blessing for the people that's behind us, man.
We worked a long time. We had to get some rest conditions, so we worked hard to get on.
It means a lot. I knew this time was going to come one day. You know, we've been fighting all 4 years with my boys, you know, and the coach, coach hard on us at practice and stuff.
WCBI sports coverage of Mississippi High School State Championships is brought to you by OCH Regional Medical Center, Advanced Medicine, Compassionate Care, and Visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Friday is looking great. We're back into the mid-60s, tons of sunshine, some wet weather for Saturday into Sunday, cooler next week again.
So I need to enjoy the weather tomorrow because the rain is coming this
That's
weekend.
my advice, my friend.
It's coming. Have a great night, everyone.